Hello, hello. This is Joe Charagoff. I wanted to make a video. I'm writing another book very slowly. Um, and the point of the book is quite simply if humans really wanted to improve their reality, guarantee um, to prevent self destruction, and evolve in the process as a civilization, you know, remove borders, reduce greed, encourage and enhance the ability of society to allow people to improve themselves and deal with their frailties as humans, yada, yada, yada. Evolve um, on a universal scale. For them to do that, one of the ways I write about in the book is to look at our history. However, just looking at our history and seeing the mistakes of humans being conceited, being vain, being greedy, abusing power over and over and over clearly doesn't help because we have a basic idea of human history. We study history, we have historians. Well, we get history. The problem with what we get when we see history, when we look at this history, that, like I said, in general, we understand, is the same problem when we look at our current present from instance to instance. And this is why it keeps happening over and over. Because when we look at our present and when we look at history, we see things extremely superficially. We see that human civilizations have destroyed themselves over and over. We get that on a simple educational subconscious basis. We understand it on the surface, but we deliberately don't dig deep to understand our history, just like we don't dig deep on our present um, instances to actually learn from it, to actually look at it. And because if we looked at it on a deep level, we'd have to deal with our individual um, humanity first. Our communal humanity, sure, but community, society, and civilization mean nothing without individual progress. Um, that should be a given. Enough individuals have to change for anything else to change. Um, but anyway, the way we look at history, we look at this Great Wall of China, we look at the pyramids, we look at the Egyptians. Oh, they had all these slaves. We're so much better now. We even look at relatively recent history, like World War II in Nazi Germany and the axis of evil. And we just see good and bad. Those were monsters. They weren't humans in our superficial mindset, but they really were humans. Millions of humans, um, directly and or indirectly, um, slaughtered tens of millions of other humans in an evil way. And that's part of humanity. They were human beings. So for us to not want to psychologically accept that and accept that they were humans like us, the sociopath, the malignant narcissist, the psychopath, even that is an extreme. You don't even have to be that to do what happened in the horrific wars of the past. Um, what I mean is on a massive scale, because if it was just that small number of people who fit into those categories of really fringe psychological sort of evil and narcissism, it wouldn't be enough to do the horrific things that happen in war. Another horrific thing that has to happen for war and tragedy and the downfall of civilization to happen is apathy. And we all got that down still today. So there's no reason to think that the past isn't going to repeat, because we don't really want to deal with humanity, which is mentality, psychology, simply looking at what you do and trying, looking at what you do as a human being and what you've done and trying to improve it and consciously being aware of it and trying to improve it, whatever that may be. Whether you're vain, whether you're apathetic, whether you're conceited, whether you're greedy, whether you're addicted to substances, whether you're addicted to video games, um, whatever it is that you know is not good for you and or the world, but most importantly you as a human being, that you are not consciously trying to deal with and fix. That's why civilization repeat themselves over and over. So looking at history is not enough. And I'll have to rewrite some of the things I probably wrote in this book, because it's not that simple. If it was as simple as just looking at history, we wouldn't be where we're at. We wouldn't be at the point where, you know, countries are divided still today, very much so. There are wars going on. And not only that, now if a world war breaks out, it's not civilization, like one civilization ending. It's like humanity ending, human civilization ending. So I don't want to go on too long, but that was my general thought that I kind of wanted to get out there, is that we really can. The point, I guess, is we really can learn from history, human history. Um, but in order to do it, you really have to be at a point as an individual where you are willing to deal with your personal history, even if that's 5 seconds ago, 5 years ago, or 50 years ago. If you can deal with your personal history and the regret of your frailties as a human, then it can help to look at human history. So, but I guess, I don't know, maybe enough of us have to get to the point, or the right people in power have to get to a point where they can deal with their individual regret of their frailties, to look at their own history in the right way, and then um, make it a staple or a part of our humanity to really look at and learn from our human history, because they have to go hand in hand. And the individual past experiences as regret and self-reflection has to come before you just look at history. People will walk down the wall of China and just think, how cool. They won't think about the psychology and negative aspects of humanity that would build whatever it is, 2,500 mile long wall. They don't think of it in the sense that this is a weakness in humans. We look at pyramids and say, oh, how cool. We don't think about it as, holy cow, they had to enslave, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people over what, hundreds or thousands of years to build this. That's messed up. Whatever the mistakes of religions, whatever it is, we don't connect it to our own humanity. But I promise you, the mistakes of history are connected to you. So it would be very beneficial if more of us would make that connection and deal with our own frailties.